Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that would be quite helpful to a lot of recent graduates. Since my previous video was about graduation, I felt like this video I should talk about life after uni and how to get your first job. So if you're interested in this video, definitely keep on watching. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment down below asking anything that I may not have covered in the video. Let's get right into it. Okay, so before we start talking about job searching and all of that, I just wanted to give my friend a shout out. So if you've noticed, I'm wearing this popping eyeshadow. So this eyeshadow is from my friend's makeup line. So my friend is called Joanna Kinuthia. If you don't already know her, you should know her. So she has a makeup line. So I'm actually wearing her eyeshadow and lipsticks. So the lipstick I'm wearing is in the shade Basically. It's a nude lipstick. And then I'm also wearing some of her eyeshadows from her eyeshadow palette. And I'm wearing the shades Girl Boss, I don't know if you can see, Girl Boss, Gold Digger, and Dancing Queen. So yeah, and then this is how, so she gave me this for my graduation, as a graduation gift, and I've just been loving playing around with it. So yeah, you go girl, like keep doing what you're doing. We're all so proud of you. Anyway, now let's get right into the video. So the first thing I would tell you when you're looking for a job, you have to treat looking for a job like a job in itself. Even if you're jobless, let me tell you, for you to actually secure that job, you have to treat job searching like it's a full-time employment position. So you wake up in the morning, like you're going to work, you shower, you sit down, and you start job searching in the morning, like seriously. So what I'm going to be sharing in this video are just like the apps I've used to look for a job, different things that you should put in your CV, how to make your CV look appealing to employees, and just and also just sharing my story about how I secured my job. So let's get right into it. The first thing that is really important when looking for a job is your CV. Your CV needs to look proper, like proper. So I think your CV should be like not more than 3 pages. Like 3 pages is even pushing it. Like the third page should mostly have like references and like hobbies and stuff like that. But yeah, so like your work experience and your education should just be on 2 pages. And you should make sure, like, when you're taught how to make a CV in school, they teach you that you should first have like your personal details on the top, like, your name, your contacts and all of that. And then after that, you should have your education history. But from experience, I think what should come after your personal details should be your work experience, because usually like HR managers and recruiters, when they're looking through many CVs, they don't want to, sometimes they jump through a lot of CVs. So you want to catch their attention from the first glance. So your work experience should be the first thing that they see. So after your personal details, I think you should put your work experience first, and then after your work experience, then put your education history. Just because in this day and age, the people you're competing with all have degrees. So what's going to make you stand out is the work experience that you have. Let's start from there. Okay. Number 2, I would say, if you're still in uni, like, it's so important to do internships or to do some sort of work or side hustle, just to give you some sort of work experience, because you're going to be entering the job market, and they're going to, even if you're straight out of uni, the employers are still going to expect you to have some sort of work experience, which is just, I know it's a bit crazy, but that's why I think a lot of like universities like UCT really push for students to do like, holiday work and vacation work, just to at least have a few months on your CV that show that you've actually worked in a working environment before. Also, you don't have to have worked in an office. If you have things like if you have a blog, for example, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have like a side hustle where you're selling, I don't know, jewelry, or you're selling like secondhand clothes, whatever you're selling, put that on your CV so that they see that you already have that discipline of working, and also that you have entrepreneurial skills. So whatever you're doing, just don't just be one of those students who just goes to school, studies, comes back home, does nothing. Just do something to make you stand out from the rest of the crowd. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you the apps that I used when I was looking for a job. So I returned to Cape Town in January this year, and I was jobless. And let me tell you guys, being jobless and looking for a job is one of the most difficult things ever. But then being jobless and looking for a job in a foreign country without your parents and without a place to stay is the worst feeling ever. Like, it's the most stressful thing ever. You think, I finished uni, oh my God, I'm here. Like, you'll even miss being in university because it's hectic, especially when you're getting so many rejections, and you're just wondering, like, but I'm so skilled, like, I feel like I can do this, why am I not getting it? So you have to mentally prepare yourself. Like, don't get ready for a lot of no's. Just, like, let me tell you that, because you're definitely going to get the first job you apply for, in most cases, you're not going to get it. So yeah. So the apps that I was using to job search was, number one, LinkedIn. I used a lot of LinkedIn. Trusted Interns. So LinkedIn is a worldwide platform, so I'm sure everyone can use LinkedIn. But the other apps I'm going to list, I don't know if I think they're specific to South Africa. So apart from Gumtree. So yeah, this video would mostly help, actually. This part of the video would mostly help South Africans or recent graduates in South Africa. So I used LinkedIn. I used Trusted Interns. It's a new site that posts like various internships in the country. And the good thing about this app is that they're usually looking for fresh graduates. So it's easy for you to like narrow down, because I feel like with a lot of these other applications, you're trying to compete with people who have like years of work experience. But then in this app, they're looking for you as a fresh graduate to apply. So Trusted Intern is a really good app as well. Indeed.co.za, they have like so many job listings there. I used that a lot. I also used Gumtree, but I wasn't like really like perusing through Gumtree. So I feel like on Indeed, they also usually list like some jobs from Gumtree. So I would maybe go on Indeed, and then maybe I click on a job and it takes me to Gumtree, to the job listing on Gumtree. So Gumtree is another site that I used. And then also OfferZen. So OfferZen is an app mostly for IT, actually not mostly for IT, for people in the IT industry. So if you have a degree in IT, in IS, in computer science, software engineering, whatever IT degree that you have, then you should definitely use OfferZen, because I know my friend, one of my good friends, also used OfferZen to look for her first job, and that's actually how she got her job. And the good thing about OfferZen is that you're not going out to apply for jobs. Once you fill in all the details, you put in your transcripts, your degree, your work experience, all of that stuff, then they will show your profile to companies, and the companies will approach you themselves. So you can sit back and relax and you'll be approached by clients if your profile is good enough. So I didn't really get anything from OfferZen. I think also because they usually, when you're filling in your profile, they also ask you things like what kind of jobs you're looking for, what kind of industries you want to go into. And I think for me, the things that I wanted, they didn't have any like vacant positions, so it didn't really help me much. So I didn't really gain much from OfferZen. But if you want to go into IT, especially into programming, then I think OfferZen is a really good app for you. Okay, so for LinkedIn, I would say for LinkedIn, like your LinkedIn profile, guys, dude, it needs to look popping. You really need to work on your LinkedIn profile. So I think I don't even think my LinkedIn profile is that amazing, honestly, but I've actually gotten quite a number of job offers, not maybe job offers, like offers from companies that are asking me to either apply for a position. And I actually got I actually got a job offer from LinkedIn without actually applying for the job. So I think my LinkedIn is good enough to share with you guys, so I'm going to like link it somewhere here just so that you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about. But you basically need to put it should look like your CV but also more revamped. So yeah, put in your work experience, your education, and put in also like all those other skills that you have but you may not have a degree for. So like, let's say you did a sewing course on the side, then you put that you have that skill there. Let's say you've not gone to study IT in school but you decided to take a course in programming in maybe Python, then you put that you have that Python skill. If you did a course in Microsoft Office and you're skilled in Microsoft Word or Excel, put that there, just so that those things look, your LinkedIn profile looks appealing to clients. So yeah, make sure your LinkedIn is I think it's a really good app to look for jobs. Because let me tell you guys something, my mom is in HR, so I know these things. For a lot of HR companies or recruiters, there's usually someone that is assigned in the company, like their job is to go on LinkedIn to find potential employees for companies. So they literally go through LinkedIn profiles trying to find potential candidates for a certain position. So your LinkedIn profile is a really, like, it's really important, so take it seriously. So another app that I used, I said, was, I told you about Trusted Interns. It's good for internships and recent graduates. And then I also used Indeed and Gumtree. So actually how I got my first job was through a job listing that I saw on Indeed. So I clicked on the job on Indeed and it took me to Gumtree, and then the actual job listing was on Gumtree. So that's when I found out that they were looking for people, and that's how I applied for the job from now, just that listing. Okay, so I forgot to mention this, but being in UCT, if you're a UCT student, then UCT also has a really good online job portal called UCT Career Services. Like, guys, actually the jobs that they post there are so helpful. Like, you need to take it seriously. Because actually, in January, actually the first job that I got, which didn't end up working out because of I think I actually explained this in one of my previous videos, but I actually got my first job. It was a writing job for media and writing company, and I was probably going to doing a lot of writing journalism work. And I got this job from UCT My Career Services. So I remember I applied for it, and the same day they called me back and they told me, come for the interview. I did well in the interview. I did well. Like, I think I actually worked there for like 2 weeks or 1 week before the job. Things just didn't go well. So the job just ended up not being available, but I ended up getting to the last stage and being one of the potential candidates that were going to employ if things had gone well. So take UCT My Career Services seriously, and apply to those jobs that they list there. And also, let me tell you, one other thing that I realized, that especially those jobs that are posted on UCT My Career Services, when you apply for them, they usually give UCT students preference. I know it's so biased, but they do give UCT students preference over like other universities. So just take advantage of that. Yeah, another thing that's really important is to have a cover letter. I know not many people usually like have cover letters, and usually a cover letter is an optional thing, but having a cover letter at least introduces yourself to the employer. So if maybe they're looking for something, if they really like your CV and then they like maybe like 5 people's CVs, they might see what is the difference between you and the next person. So having a cover letter is important. Don't make it long. Like, half a page or 3/4 of a page is more than enough. It shouldn't be more than a page. Like, a page is a lot. Like, maybe half a page, So basically what the cover letter should just introduce yourself, and tell them like more about yourself, your personality, what you studied, where you studied, how old you are, what special skills that you have. Maybe these special skills you've gained them from just teaching yourself. So maybe you're good in like video editing, or maybe you're good in photo editing, or maybe you're good in entrepreneurship because you have a business, which might not really be reflected in your CV. So put such skills there. And then also mention to the like make it a personal letter to the company. So maybe I'll even put a template of a nice cover letter, just a template, because I think Microsoft Word has some templates for cover letters. So at the beginning of the letter, it should be like the letterhead, like with the address of who you're sending it to, your own address, and make sure to address the company itself. So don't just make it like a very mainstream cover letter, make it a bit personal and say that I really want to work at so and so's company, and you list the name there of the company because of this and this. So maybe mostly for a recent graduate, it will be because you want work experience and you really like maybe the services that they offer and you want to be a part of them and you think you can grow in their company. But just make it, just list the name of the company in the letter, just that it feels a bit more personal. Yeah, I think that but I would suggest having a cover letter. So for me, when I was applying for jobs, I'd always attach my cover letter to almost all my applications. And so yeah, as I told you, you need to treat this thing like a job. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do, shower, you sit down and you start sending out those CVs. So you should have your laptop open, your CV is here, your cover letter is here, and you're perusing for jobs, So I was applying for like 10 jobs per day, actually, guys. Like, I think that's also why I got a job so quickly, because people are like, oh my gosh, you didn't even have to like suffer so much, you got a job like so quickly after uni. But it's because I was putting in the work. I was sitting on my phone every morning, guys. Like, I was applying for sometimes 10 jobs per day, sometimes more, like minimum 10 jobs per day. So I think also that's why my name was already like, I got a job quickly, because I was on it. Okay, so another thing would be, so when you're searching for a job now, let's say you're there, you have your cover letter ready, you have your CV ready, your LinkedIn is popping, everything is popping. Make sure you don't just go into Indeed and just peruse through all the jobs. Like, make sure you search for specific industries. So let's say you want to work in the digital media industry, then you search digital media jobs or marketing jobs. So for me, the jobs I was searching for were in digital media, marketing, IT, and IT. There are very many things. Business analyst. I wasn't really necessarily searching for a programming job, so I was searching for other things in the IT industry. So make your search specific, just go into those apps and search for a specific thing. Fashion, I also applied for some fashion jobs. And yeah, and to be honest, I actually got called for quite a number of interviews during my job searching process, and some of these interviews were some really, really big companies. So I remember I even had an interview with Superbalist, and I would have loved to work with Superbalist. If you guys are South African, or if you're based in South Africa, then you probably know Superbalist. It's like the biggest online fashion retailer, and it's so in line with what I do. I'm a fashion designer. I have an online e-commerce store. So for working with them would be such an amazing opportunity. And what drew them to me was the fact that not even just so it was a fashion related job. So they wanted someone who who knew fashion, like who had a good knowledge of fashion and trends and knew about like millennial culture, but also who had a background in IT and could understand like web design and things to do with putting up content on the web. I think so the position was like web content manager, something like that. And what drew them to my application was the fact that I had such diverse skills, because they were saying that they were getting so many applications from people who have such a good and experienced background in fashion, in the fashion industry, but who just weren't skilled in IT, or people who were very skilled in IT but had no idea about what's going on in fashion. So the fact that I had my fashion blog and I also had my fashion e-commerce store, and on top of that, I had already studied IT in school. That was what was setting me apart from the other competitors. So make sure to list all the things that make you unique. Don't just make it such a formal CV. Make sure to list your strengths in that CV, because that's what's going to make you different from the next person who's applying for the same job. Another thing I would say is to take your networks very seriously. Like, in this day and age, job searching alone is not going to get you a job. Even if you're so overqualified, you need to have your networks. Let me tell you, you need to have your networks. And when I was like that, I also feel like that's kind of what sort of not made me, but like it really helped me get my first job, because even if I was very skilled for the job, I already knew the manager who was the recruiting manager. So when she saw my profile, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Teshi, like I didn't know you were still in South Africa and you were job searching." So just because I knew her, she was more inclined to trust me as opposed to maybe other people who seemed as skilled as me or more skilled than me, because she's worked with me before. So when I was in uni, I had a blog, as most of you may know, still have a blog, but I was very into like fashion blogging and going for events and networking. I was so into networking. And let me tell you guys, my dad used to tell me that I was spending too much time on my blog. I was wasting so much time going for events when I should be studying. But let me tell you, if I hadn't gone for some of these events, I would not have met some of the people who made me get my first job, because it's through working with them at these events and networking with them and knowing people in the industry that that I landed my first job, which is just the honest, plain truth. So take networking very seriously, like, yeah. So yeah, I think I've covered everything that kind of helped me get my first job and land my first job. So if you have any questions at all, just leave them in the comment section down below. I'm definitely keen to answer. And I really hope this video actually helped some of you. Like, that is the point of this video. So I really hope it helped. If you want me to go into depth in specific things, just let me know and I will. So a lot of people are asking me also how to look for remote, how they should get remote jobs. And I think, as I was saying, like when you're searching for a job, make your search specific. So if you want a remote working position, specify in your search that you're looking for a remote working position. You'll be surprised by how many remote working positions there are. Like, it's not difficult to get a remote job in this day and age in South Africa, in this world. Like, it's very easy. So specify in your search that you're looking for a remote job in the specific industry that you want, and you should be able to get it. So yeah, if you have any more questions, as I said, leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.